Hello, this is Brittany from Simply Thursday. Today I'm going to do a video tutorial on how to crochet an adult dress. For this tutorial you will need yarn needles or tapestry needles, a size 9mm hook, a size 3.5mm hook, scissors, a dressmaker's tape, and some sports weight yarn. I chose Gloria Kanan. You are also going to need to take a few measurements of yourself. The first measurement you will need is the bust point, which would be the distance all the way around your chest at the largest point. I'm not going to tell you my measurements. You'll also need sort of an apex measurement, which would be from your collarbone all the way down to your underbust point. I'm also not going to tell you those measurements. The third measurement that you need is from the underbust to as long as you're going to want your dress. For me, the number was 36 inches. To begin, chain twice the length of your entire waist. Be sure to leave enough tail to sew into your finished project. I'm only going to show you a short sample, as I've already completed my skirt. When you've reached the desired amount of chains, chain an extra 2, then double crochet 5 double crochets in the 5th chain from the hook. Skip 2 chains and double crochet 1 in the next stitch. Then you're going to skip another 2 chains and go back to the shell and do 5 double crochets in the next stitch. You will continue on this pattern until you reach the end of the row. When you come to the end of the row, be sure to end on a double crochet post. So that your work looks something like this. To begin another row, chain 2, turn, double crochet 5 into the middle of your shell. Right on top of the first shell. Double crochet on top of the next, double crochet post, double crochet 5 in the middle of the next shell, and continue on in this manner until you reach the desired length for your skirt. When you reach the desired length for your skirt, you're going to line up both corners and single crochet 2 through each of the end posts. And you're going to do this all the way up the skirt to create a seam. As you can see, I'm going through this hole that I made with both of the double crochets. I'm single crocheting twice through each post. When you finish your seam, you're starting to have something that looks more like a garment and less like a blanket. You're going to switch out your 9mm hook for your 3.5mm hook. Now we're not going to crochet directly into any of the stitches that we did when we first started. Instead, we're going to crochet into the chain 2 spaces that we skipped. I'm going to use half double crochet, so chain 2, and half double crochet 3 times into the initial chain 2 spaces. Excuse me, there's a plane going over my head. I live by an Air Force base. And you're going to do this in all of the chain 2 spaces all the way around. After you have completed your first round of the waistband, slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 space that you used to start the last round. Chain 2, half double crochet into the next stitch. Then you're going to do a half double crochet decrease. So insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through again, and then yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. And we're going to continue like this for all the way around. So again, you're going to half double crochet into the next stitch, and then do a half double crochet decrease. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through all of the loops. When you come to the next row, slip stitch in the top of the chain 2 space that you made from the previous round, chain 2, half double crochet into the first 3 stitches, and then do a half double crochet decrease. Continue all the way around. 3 half double crochets, and then a half double crochet decrease. When you reach the end of the row, slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 space from the previous round, chain 2, and half double crochet 1 in each stitch, all the way around. Continue on like this until this band is the measurement of your apex. So I have finished all of my rows of half double crochet. I'm just going to slip stitch to join into the chain 2 space like I have in the previous rows. I'm going to slip stitch twice, or chain stitch, and cut off and weave in my ends. Which, by the way, is always a really good idea to do. I know some people use some fray check to finish off their crochet pieces, but in my opinion, I think it's also a good idea just to sew in your tails really quickly to make sure that your item lasts and doesn't fall apart. So where I finished off is the back of the dress. So if I turn it around, this would be the front. So all that's left to do now is to accessorize and design your dress and make it your own. So what I'm going to do is, I actually have some braided yarn that I made a little bit earlier, and I'm going to stick it through the bodice from the bottom of where the lacy part stops and the actual closed part starts for the top, and I'm going to tie it off to kind of give the bodice a little bit more interest. Now if you make the braided part long enough, you can even tie the dress around like a bikini top if you like, or you can add straps to it, sleeves, whatever you want. Okay, here is me actually modeling the dress, and I'm wearing a white slip under it so that you can tell the details of the stitching of the shells and the poles. I also paired it with a bolero because it is strapless. You can add straps to it if you like. Maybe I'll do another tutorial about that some other time. I hope you enjoyed my video tutorial, and if you did, subscribe, comment, like, follow me on social media. Thank you.